The role for government is, first of all, to protect people from coercion physical coercion by their neighbors or by foreign countries. It is to protect the national defense and to protect law and order at home. There's a role for government in enabling us to have a mechanism whereby we decide on the rules by which we want to run, how we define private property, what we mean by private property. There's a role for government in adjudicating disputes between us. There is a role for government, a very important role. And I believe our government played that role quite well for about 100 years, until the Great Depression.
I'd go a little further. I think there is a health and safety role as well. The problem is you have to keep your regulations simple and minimal. You have to realize that there are costs, and often the costs outweigh the benefits. In fact, in Washington, there are interests who want to divert costs to themselves. So there's sort of a built-in structure, a dynamic, to make costs outweigh the benefits.
Well, we're making progress here. I would add that there's a role, the government has a role to protect the environment. I would say the government has a role to set standards for products in areas where information is very costly for the individual consumer to obtain. I like very much the fact that the steaks that dentist was eating were inspected by the USDA. Their purity was guaranteed by a rather well-functioning aspect of our government. Go ahead.
On the other hand, you've got the FDA, which has these long delays, 10 years to get a drug approved. So the effect is that you have to be a big drug company to get any kind of, to enter the market, and you basically are closing off the market.
On the other hand, you've had a set of regulations which have disappeared without any well-justified regrets. For example, the regulations that govern the entry into interstate trucking, the regulations that govern entry and rates in airlines.
And incidentally, that was done under the Reagan administration.
No. Those reforms were done under the Carter administration.
They were started under the Carter administration. They
were,
and completed under the Reagan.
Oh, they were not. They were stalled under the Reagan administration.
It doesn't really matter.
No, it does matter a great deal. A question of who favors these things and on what merits. But
there's no doubt that Carter did the heavy lifting on deregulation.
Thank you.
But in any event, I'm not trying to defend one political party or another. As David says, a major enemy of a free market is a business interest.